You're watching HCAM TV.
Hello, everybody. HCAM Sports Talk Live. I'm your host, Tom Nappy, and joining us on the show today, we have Bob Hamilton and Mike Tarosian. Guys, how's it going?
Hey, I'm getting hungry for turkey. How about you, Mike?
I just ate some turkey, but that's a different story. Well, actually, it's more like I ate a little crow, but that's because Tom was making me feel bad.
Yeah, because of your picks last week in the NFL, huh?
Hey, mine were the worst. Mike did good.
I can call him. I don't know. I'm like this magician all of a sudden.
You called a good week. It was upset week in week 11. And of course, we'll have our week 12 NFL picks later in the show. But last week, Mike was the champion going 8-6. First time he's ever won anything in his life. Bob went 6-8, and I went 5-9. So hopefully Bob and I will do a lot better during week 12 because we were awful last week. But we'll have our week 12 picks. Not that you want to listen to them or even trust them because we're not really good at this. But we have fun doing it. So
I mean, you're not really good. I'm really good at this. Come on. I'm really good.
You did good last week. You did good last week. But you know what they say, first time for everything, right?
Oh.
So on today's show, we are going to relive some great Thanksgiving football memories between the Hopkinton Hillers and the Ashland Clockers. Unfortunately, there'll be no Thanksgiving football this year because of the pandemic, like everything else. Just another thing that was taken from us. But Mike has some good news for you because there will be Thanksgiving football on HCAM. Mike, why don't you tell the people about that?
Oh, my goodness. This is such great news. Thank you to the brainchild of sports producer John Ritz, who came up with the idea, hey, we don't have football on Thursday. Let's play some replays. So we are going to be playing games from 2004, 2011, 13, and 17 all day on HCAM Ed, which is your Verizon 31 and Comcast 96. So you will see the games back to back. So it's a full day of football. Tune in anytime. And these are all home games. These are all Hopkins home games. And you notice how we didn't mention about 2019.
Right.
2019, we got destroyed, but we got destroyed by a great state championship team, the Ashland Clockers, who took the state championship that year.
Are you sure they got destroyed? I thought Ashland benched everyone that year.
Well, they pretty much did, but we still lost.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we have memories from that game, maybe on this show. But
I could be wrong. I thought we lost.
Also, we'll have memories on HCAM News as well, which will air tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. on HCAM TV. There'll be a lot of great Hillers football memories, and we'll have memories from a great Thanksgiving break tradition that Hopkinton High School does, their Top of the Hill program. We'll have some memories from that as well on HCAM News, which you can catch tomorrow evening at 6:30 p.m. It'll be great to relive some awesome Turkey Day memories, and it's a bummer. There's no Thanksgiving football this year, but hopefully there'll be football. Supposedly it's supposed to be in the fall 2 season, which starts in February. So maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll have a Martin Luther King Day game or something like that.
Well, you know, it was funny. They were talking about a Holy Saturday game, which is the Saturday after Thanksgiving, but that never came about. That was like early rumors, early into the fall 1 season, that there was a chance because football was allowed to practice in small squads, but there was talk about a Holy Saturday game, but that's not going to happen. And the Turkey Day Classic, the Tom Mcintyre Turkey Bowl, which is supported by the Hopkins Boosters, that also got canceled this year, which always takes place Friday morning at 10 o'clock after Thanksgiving, the Friday after Thanksgiving. So that's not going to happen this year as well. So a whole lot of football, a whole lot of town traditions. And like tonight's Wednesday night. Before that's where everyone goes out. Everyone comes home from college. Everyone comes home, and they all go to your local watering holes. And
No,
like Tom,
no
you got
gathering
your
tonight,
place.
kids.
Yeah, you got your place. I got my place,
Right.
and it's not going to happen. It's just not allowed. So I mean, they don't even want people coming home for Thanksgiving. Your family,
Right.
stay away. You know, I'm afraid to have more than 10 cars in my driveway, or else I'm going to get reported.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. It's just it'll be a different Thanksgiving, but here's the good news: you'll still have 3 NFL games, and I guess there's some form of the Macy's Day Parade that's going to air. So there'll be some great traditions on Thanksgiving, and hopefully you're able to safely see your loved ones and family and have a great meal as well. And hopefully next year we'll be back to normal. We'll have Hillers football on Thanksgiving, and everything will be great. But wait and see as everything else. But hey, there's encouraging signs out there with the vaccines and all that.
There's some, yeah, they're coming. They're coming soon.
Absolutely. But we do have some great news. 6 Hiller athletes recently signed letters of intent to play in college, and we have some great footage from the signing day. So without further ado, why don't we take a look at some Hiller athletes that will be playing in college next year.
All right, this works.
All right. Family wants to get in? Hold on.
Yeah, I'm Riley Del Ponte. I'm going to St. Bonaventure for lacrosse. I play tack.
And what made you choose St. Bonaventure?
Love the coach. I love the camaraderie over there at St. Bonaventure. Just personality-wise, coach, I just love it.
And what were your years like being a Hiller? Did you enjoy playing for Hopkinton?
I loved playing for Hopkinton. I love Coach Norton. I'm excited to play as captain this year. Hopefully we get a season this spring. I'm just excited to learn from all the leaders in the past, and I'm excited to play this year.
Terrific. And what are you going to be studying over there?
Business. Hopefully sales.
All right. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
You look at me, please. You didn't know there's going to be so many instructions, did you? Look at me, if you would. There's no social media, then, you?
No, that's so true.
No one would have seen it. Great, thank you.
I'm Hope DeLuca. I run cross country and track and field, and I'm going to be going to the University of Vermont.
Excellent. And what made you choose Vermont?
I visited the campus briefly over the summer, and it was just my favorite school, and the coach is really great, so I really look forward to going there.
Terrific. What are you going to be studying there?
Psychology.
Excellent. And what was it like during your years with the Hillers?
It was a lot of fun. I have made the best friends on the cross country and track and field teams, and I just have really loved my time with them.
I'm Josh Fisher. I play baseball and I'm going to Fairfield University.
Excellent. What made you choose Fairfield?
I did a camp last February before COVID hit, and when I first got into the campus, I absolutely loved it. The Field Alumni Stadium is absolutely gorgeous, and I absolutely loved Coach Courier, Coach Fay, and Coach Tabachman. They all welcomed all the kids there with open arms, and the facilities were absolutely breathtaking. And another factor was my principal, Mr. Bishop. who is a really great figure at our school. He also played baseball there, and that's also one of the reasons I wanted to play there, since he's a great figure who I look up to.
Terrific. And what are you studying over there?
I am currently debating to either study computer science or politics. Both of those really intrigue me, and I'm going to decide soon, but I'm leaning toward computer science.
Excellent. How are your years as a Hiller?
I don't know how to describe it. It's just been absolutely amazing. This school is absolutely amazing. It will always hold a special place in my heart. And I can't give enough thanks to Coach Simos and Miss King and Mr. Cormier for all they've done for all the students here. It's they've done an absolutely terrific job.
Excellent. We wish you the best of luck. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
My name is Greta Field. I'm going to be running cross country and track and field at UMass Lowell next year.
Excellent. What made you choose UMass Lowell?
I really like it. I like how it's 2 separate campuses. I feel like it makes me feel more independent going to each classes. The coaches are super nice. My mom actually went there. Sorry. She played basketball at University of Lowell. She was like the last University of Lowell, and the next year it transferred to UMass Lowell, and she really liked it. And she was kind of pushing me to visit there, and I visited, and I really liked it. And again, the coaches were super nice, so I just decided to go there.
Terrific. And what are you going to be studying?
I'm going to be a nursing major at UMass Lowell.
Wonderful. And how were your years as a Hiller?
They were really good. The cross-country team, when I first came to high school, I wanted to play soccer, basketball, and softball. And I walked into the basketball meeting and I didn't want to play basketball anymore. So I decided to join winter track, and I really liked it. I did distance, and then I just quit everything else, and I just found all my best friends in cross-country and had the best time.
University of Florida, yeah. In Gainesville. Yes,
It's a little warmer there.
Yeah, I'm Olivia Jones. I run cross country and track, and I'm going to University of Florida.
Terrific. What made you choose the University of Florida?
I guess it's a combination of, it's a great sports school. The coach is amazing, Chris Zielinski. He used to have a national record in the 10K, so he's really fast, and they have really good academics, and I just wanted to go to a big school with an awesome sports atmosphere.
Excellent. What are you studying over there?
I want to major in biology or chemistry, and then hopefully be part of their accelerated dental program and go to dental school there.
Wonderful. And how were your years as a Hiller?
They were awesome. They were so fun, and I'm going to miss it so much.
And there you have it. 6 Hiller athletes that will be playing at the college level. A big congratulations to all 6 of those tremendous athletes. And as somebody that has had the privilege to call a lot of Hiller baseball, I'm excited to see what Josh Fisher will do in college on the mound.
Tom, that's a great day to be out there for the when they sign their letters of intent. It gives them the feel, a real athletic feel, because here all the press is there. You were there, Hop News was there, the Independent was there, and it's a good feeling that the press has covered it. It's great for the families, and it's nice to see that little tradition still continue. And it was called off. It was postponed until that particular day that you went, but it was nice that it wasn't canceled.
Right, and
it's a great thing.
Rich Cormier did a great job, because initially he was going to be outside in the tent, but then it was very windy and the sign was blowing all over the place. So we said, all right, let's do this in the gymnasium. So they left the door open, set it up real quick in the gymnasium, right on the spot, and it went off without any issues. It was a great event, fun to be at, and fun to talk to all those excellent athletes too. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they all do in college. I think they all have great futures in their respected sports. And speaking of Hiller athletes, we have the list of the Hillers Fall Sports One All-Stars. And this is, of course, courtesy of Hiller Athletics on Twitter. But in boys cross country, you got Matt Berdulis, and I apologize in advance if I mispronounce these names. Jake Lakosh, Wyatt Ruff, Craig Solois, Nick Brown. Girls cross country, Hope DeLuca, who was one of the girls that we talked to who was at the signings. Olivia Jones, Grace Joy, Autumn Tumbleton. In golf, the All-Stars are Jack Petruni, Jeff Toko, Ryan Lundy, the pot MVP. In field hockey, Sarah Doyle and Sophie Driscoll, two terrific field hockey players. Girls soccer, Gabriella Siri, Kristen McCluskey, Ashley Butler. She was also second team Eastern Mass. Alexis Veal, first team Eastern Mass. Great group right there. And in boys soccer, Tora Ito and Owen Schnorr, two great athletes to watch over on the soccer field. So there are your Fall One Hopkinton Hillers All-Stars, and what a great Fall One season it was. A lot of talent.
You're right, Tom, because if you listen to the broadcast, those were the names that you heard mentioned most of the time, you know, and it was nice to see. And I tell you, I also want to hand it to the JV program. The JV program, which we broadcasted for the first time, did very well, looked good, and they all loved the coverage that they got this year. And I can't wait to start saying their names again next year when they're all playing varsity.
Absolutely. And there was some very fun JV games, too. Some great close matchups. A lot of fun to call. And they have a lot of good up-and-coming talent, too. So I think there's a very bright future for the fall sports teams for the Hopkinton Hillers. So the TVL did release a statement this week about winter sports. So let's take you through that statement real quick. I'll pull it up here, and it may be a little tough to read, but I'll read it for you. On Friday, November 6th, the Executive Office for Energy and Environmental Affairs issued updated guidance pertaining to athletic participation and limitations during the week of November 9th. The various sports-specific committees within the MIAA worked diligently to develop potential modifications and game administration procedures that would allow sports to be played within the guidelines set forth by the EEA on Monday, November 16th and Tuesday, November 17th. These sports committees presented their recommendations to the Sports Medicine Committee in order to reach an agreement on required modifications. On Wednesday, November 18th, the MIAA's COVID task force met to review each of these recommendations and in turn issued their own guidance and recommendations to the MIAA Board of Directors. And this was released on November 20th. The MIAA Board of Directors met and issued the following guidelines for the winter athletic season. Wrestling moved to the spring season to provide a path for competitions. Indoor track and field moved to the fall 2 season due to facility limitations. So indoor track and field will now be fall 2 in the TVL. Leagues can keep the season during the winter season if approved by their district athletic committee. So maybe some schools choose to keep it during the winter season, but I'd imagine most of them are going to move it since a lot of athletic centers are being taken up for classroom space. Modifications were put in place for alpine ski, basketball, gymnastics, ice hockey, Nordic skiing, and swimming and diving, and those modifications were approved. So it looks like we're a go on all those sports. And the earliest possible start date for the winter season was set for December 14th. So December 14th, the expected start date of the winter season. That means practices can start on December 14th. So I don't know if we'll see games that day. They'll probably have a week or so of practices, then maybe start the games. We'll see. Sometimes they don't have a lot of practice time before they get into the games. And also the notice says TVL athletic directors and principals will work collaboratively in crafting a plan that will be as consistent as possible across our league in order to provide as many athletic opportunities for our student athletes in the safest possible environment. Among other items, they'll be addressing That includes sports offerings, league schedule, including start dates for practices and competition, facility limitations, and spectator policy. And they close saying, we fully appreciate how difficult it is to continue to wait for answers so that you plan accordingly. These are challenging times to navigate, blah, blah, blah. Thank you very much. The TVL principals and athletic directors. So there you have it. The TVL notice as far as the winter season, some good information there. And obviously it's tough for people trying to plan for the winter season, not knowing what to expect yet, not knowing when the games are. We're certainly excited to get those schedules and start planning, but you know, it's they have to work in a tight time frame to get this going, but it looks like we'll have a whole lot of winter sports.
Right, and I'm looking forward to this too, because I believe that we're going to be covering as much as possible, and we'll be even streaming more. Normally, again, we just do the varsity level, but now we'll be taking care of the sub-varsity because of the limitations that they have with spectators and parents. So, and we're hoping, you know, if we can figure out, I know one of the big news that we have to bring out is the downhill. We have downhill skiing, which producer John Ritz will be bringing to us. That's going to be 2 games every week live from Ward Hill, which is going to be awesome. That's something new for us.
They have some away meets too, so I don't know if it'll be 2 every week.
Well, they mentioned 2, yeah. So I'm not sure if it's every week. We haven't seen the schedules yet, so I don't know.
Yeah, but we'll have some coverage for you.
We'll have coverage for Ward Hill. We'll have which is something new. We're working out the logistics, and we're going to do our best to stream those live as well.
And also, we'll see what the spectator policy is, but maybe we'll have some JV coverage of certain sports too. Certainly, let everybody know. But it'll all come down to what the procedures will be, the spectators and all that. You have to imagine there'll probably be some kind of limitation, especially for the indoor sports.
Right.
One of the things I can tell you, hockey, the arenas will control that.
Correct. It like we know we were lucky enough to do everything outdoors, but we don't even know if we'll be allowed indoors. You know, we don't know yet. We'll find out, and we'll keep everyone, of course, up to date. And I know Bob is dying to get filming some action. I mean, he's been doing a lot of government meetings, and you know, he's been lucky enough to do the live meetings at the high school, right?
Yeah, I managed to do the school committee meetings from the high school, but also you're right. I'd like to get back to the Crow's Nest so we can broadcast some of those winter sports. I know I haven't heard anything about volleyball, whether that's going to go or not. And
Fall two.
But we don't know any schedule yet. The same thing with basketball.
Yeah, we don't know if they're going to do all weekends. You know, they might pull off a couple things at night because, you know, mostly you can pull off 1 or 2 games at night.
Well, I got some inside information.
Oh, what do you got? What do you got, Tom?
Well, talking to my sources, basketball, the goal is to have a pretty normal schedule, the Tuesday, Friday type of thing.
Nice.
So they want to stick with the Tuesday, Friday type of thing in basketball. Obviously, there'll be some Mondays, Wednesdays here and there. And then hockey, same deal. Have a pretty normal type of schedule, Wednesday, Saturday type of thing. So they're trying to keep the schedules as normal as possible. They will not be doing the weekend scenario that they did in the fall, most likely, because there's just not as many benefits to it for the winter sports. So I would expect a pretty normal basketball and hockey schedule for the winter season.
But probably without spectators.
Yeah, I think there could be maybe some spectators based on how things are going. They could do the lanyard thing where each player could bring 1 or 2 people.
Well, the big thing that the big interruption, and you saw when I don't know if a lot of people could tell when you were in the athletic center, all the chairs and the student sections were all piled up there, but they had a hard time trying to pull out those bleachers.
Right. Well, they had the desks all set up, and I guess they'll move the desks all to the track area. So I mean, if the spectators, they got to have some kind of seating, obviously. So you would imagine they'd pull out the bleachers, but
Sure.
I don't think they know what that's going to be like yet. The indoor sports, I think, in my personal opinion, just seeing everything going on, maybe it's a little tough right now to have spectators. But there'll definitely be some kind of limitation, I feel like.
Sure.
I think hockey might be easier since you're at an arena that has those stands there and they don't have to do anything for that. I think there'll definitely be some kind of limitation for those games.
Well, there's
as
going to be
well.
limitations because you're going to watch all these athletes pretty much getting dressed in the stands because all the locker rooms are going to be closed.
Right. And they'll actually have to separate the players more than
Sure.
the bench will allow. So they might have to use some of the stands for players or figure out something. Might make it more difficult to make line changes, but
And are we still back at the New England Sports Center? Is that
yes.
still at home? All right. So
Yes, and
that's nice,
actually,
because
I was also told the girls' team's going to be there this year too.
Really, the girls team? Oh my goodness! And we'll get some
Yes.
girls ice. That's outstanding. So that's nice because when over in Marlboro, that is such a small facility compared to a New England Sports Center. I'm sure they're going to make some arrangements. I think they'll make it work. And that's going to be outstanding. Good to know.
I think so. So we
Have you
will.
heard have you heard anything, Tom, about any possibility of problems having officials for these games available? There's only so many officials, and if they can't field a crew, that might be a problem for the league games anyway.
I haven't heard anything as far as the officials. I think from the rumors I've heard, it won't be as much of a problem getting officials for the winter sports as it was for the fall sports. But I haven't. There's some officials I'm sure that are opting out of this season due to health concerns. But as far as I've heard, I haven't heard that there's any issues with that. So we'll keep our fingers crossed and hope that it all works out. But I guess one of the things that you could do in some of these winter sports is, especially in basketball, instead of having two, you have one. And that might have to happen if there's any kind of shortage. And that's happened before, even in regular times. So,
Sure.
Worst case, they have one. But if it's looking good, it's looking like they won't have too many problems. So, but in any case, we're going to relive some Hillers football memories. We're going to go back to 2017 and show you some great highlights from the Hillers and the Ashland Clockers meeting up on Thanksgiving Day. And we know you're depressed. There won't be any high school Thanksgiving football this year, but don't worry, HCAM has you covered because we're going to have some memories for you. On this show, we'll have some on HCAM News Live, which airs tomorrow evening at 6:30. And as Mike mentioned earlier, we'll have games playing all day tomorrow on HCAM Ed. Some great Hillers Ashland Thanksgiving battles airing all day tomorrow on our HCAM Ed channel. But without further ado, let's go back to 2017 and check out what was a great Thanksgiving matchup between the Hopkinton Hillers and the Ashland Clockers.
Welcome to Dave Hughes Stadium for this morning's annual Thanksgiving football game.
As the visiting Ashland Clockers take on the Tri-Valley League and Division IV South Sectional Champion Hopkinton Hillers. First, we'd like to say a special thank you to the boys and girls cross-country teams of both Ashland and Hopkinton for running the game football from Ashland High School here to Chick Welch Field. Let's give a round of applause to both teams. And now, we'd like to start our morning by acknowledging our senior cheerleaders and the football players as they cheer and play on their home football field for the last time. We ask that each athlete and your parents come forward when your name is read. Starting with Will Abbott, with parents Ray, Tanya, and sister Madison. Next, Shane Cooney, with Chris, Aaron, and sisters Kara and Kelly. Next, Captain Anthony Farina with John and Sandy and brothers Johnny and Jack. Next, Zach Fisher with John and Barb, brother Joshua and sister Alyssa. Next, Captain Connor Hebert with parents Mark and Margaret, sisters Lucy and Abby. Next, Captain Michael Iannelli with parents David and Kelly, sisters Hannah and Jessica, and brother Jack. Next, Kyle Cousins with parents Ken and Courtney and brother Kevin. Next, Matt LaFlash with parents Jim and Kathy. Next, Captain Matt Lindquist with parents Bob and Peg and brother Eric.
How you doing, boys?
Good, how are you doing?
Everybody well? Happy Thanksgiving. Good Tracy.
Finally, Captain Alex McDonald with parents Bruce and Bridget and brother Bennett. And now for the seniors of Hopkinton's cheer squad, starting with Captain Lisa Breton with parents Mom, Nancy, and brother Patrick. Next, Audrey Gladue with Sue and Paul Pettivillano and Eric Gladue and sister Olivia. And last but certainly not least, Captain Riley Myers with parents Kevin and Molly.
For the 94th time, the Hopkinton Hillers met up with the Ashland Clockers for Thanksgiving Day football. A new tradition started this year as members of the Ashland and Hopkinton cross-country team ran all the way from Ashland High School to David M. Hughes Stadium to deliver the game ball. The first points of the game came in the second quarter. A pitch to Will Abbott, and he finds the end zone from a few yards out. The extra point makes it 7-0 Hillers. 2 minutes 40 seconds left in the first half. A high snap on the Ashland punt, and Connor Hebert makes the tackle for the safety, and the Hillers take the 9-0 lead into the halftime locker room. At the half, play-by-play man Rick DeCina interviewed a living legend, Aubrey Doyle Sr., about the longtime Hopkinton-Ashland rivalry.
Hello, Hiller fans. We're here today, Thanksgiving morning, and we're going to have a little conversation with Aubrey Doyle Sr., who I consider the town resident on all sports here. He's been athletic director, teacher, coach. He's done it all. Rumor has it you were at the first game 94 years ago. Is that true?
Not quite.
So what have you seen over the years change that since you maybe were playing, since you were coaching to today? What's changed the most in the game?
Face masks and so forth on the helmets. We played without any of that stuff.
You had the leather helmet back in the day?
Oh yeah.
How was the weather back in the day playing in Thanksgiving Day?
Well, 47 was just like today. The field was icy to begin with, and then mud. but the second half was all mud.
So, where did you play back in the 40s and 50s until I got to this field?
Middle school is now.
By the Doyle Gym?
Yeah, beyond that.
Right up here, right behind this field right here. I played in that in the 80s, in the 70s. I played in that field up here. So that field was around for a long time.
Well, the field you played on was below one of the old one.
Oh, okay.
The old one was where the school is built now.
So what about this year's team? They went if they win today, it'll be 11 wins. Only the second team to do that in history. What do you think of that?
Yeah, a good team, real good team. They did a nice job. They had a tough game last Saturday, but they did very well before that, and they're doing very well today.
Yeah, they have a lot of team speed. They haven't necessarily had that in the last few years, but the Abbott and Kelleher connection been one of the best in the history.
Yeah, it is. Like the Doyle Ostrander connection.
So, one last thing, I'm going to let you go. I know it's a little chilly out here and the band's going, but what do you like most about the Thanksgiving Day game?
Just the idea that we play Ashland, and tradition we've been there since 1923, played every year except one.
Now, what year? Why didn't we play that year?
1940, there was a big snowstorm and they couldn't clear the field.
Did they end up playing the game later? They just never played it?
Never played it. That was the only one they didn't play.
Oh, that's an interesting fact. Who would have known that? If we didn't have Aubrey Doyle out here today, we would have known that, most of us anyway. Well, Coach, it was good to see you. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Say hello to all the boys and the girls for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Third quarter, 6:57 left. The Hillers turn it over at the 3, and Ashland takes advantage of the situation.
Little lofting pass. Oh, number 13 down the sideline. He's going to make it all the way. Abbott's got an angle. He's at the 10, and he's not able to get him. That's all the way down for a 97-yard touchdown by number 13, Nathan Sickles. 97 yards on the touchdown reception.
Later in the quarter, Ashland punting, and another high snap leads to another safety. And the Hillers go up by 4, and that is how the score would stay. The Hillers end their historic 2017 season with a record of 11-1 and take the victory by a final of 11-7. Congratulations on a great season to Coach Jim Gerard and the Hopkinton Hillers.
And there you have it, a great memory straight out of the vault from the 2017 season. The Hillers and Ashland Clockers playing on Thanksgiving. And what a great year that was, too. That was the Jake Kelleher, Will Abbott era, and that was that incredible season where they set all kinds of records. And that was also the season that the Hillers made it all the way to, I believe it was the sectional finals.
Sectional finals, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what was nice about that, and what's nice about every Thanksgiving Day game is to see in the Hiller end zone Aubrey Doyle. You know, he's there for every game as much as possible. And to able, you know, I remember producing that game that day and texting his son Aubrey to wheel him down to midfield to talk to us. And he agreed to it. The knowledge out of that man, you know, you ask him about a particular player on the field, he will tell you that not only about that player who's currently playing, but he'll tell you that his grandfather played, and when he played Thanksgiving back whatever, he'll also tell you what he had for breakfast. The mind on Mr. Doyle is incredible. Longtime teacher, coach, athletic director here at Hopkinton, and he is the historian on Hiller sports.
Yeah, and it was certainly incredible to get a nice interview with him that year. And it just made me realize this year is the first time since 1923 that Hopkinton and Ashland will not meet up on Thanksgiving.
1940.
Was it 19? I thought he said 1923.
No, 1923 was our first game, and 1940 was the snowstorm that we did not play.
Okay. So
That was
first
the only year we did not play.
I
because
was
of the
listening.
snowstorm. I heard what he said. I was
took-
there that day. I remember.
I took my headphones off for a minute. I think I missed
Bob, you
a part
remember
of
that
that.
snowstorm from 1940?
No, I don't remember that snowstorm from
Just checking.
1940.
Bob was
What if you heard anything? I don't know.
Bob was out there on the field that day.
Yeah. Yeah, I have my shovel, but nothing happened.
Well, speaking of Thanksgiving football, we have some NFL Thanksgiving football, and we have, of course, some Sunday football, and we have our Week 12 picks. So why don't we get to it?
You're not going to recap the fact that everybody blew last week, except for Magnificent Mike?
Not everybody.
Well, we could have a bunch of clips for our new segment when the hosts aren't listening, because I said that all in the beginning of the show, Bob.
I know you did. I said you wanted a recap. Not everybody starts right at the beginning of the show, you know. Some come in later.
I don't want to mention it again. I did so bad last week. Why would I want to mention it again? All right.
What do you mean? 5-9? Isn't that your record?
Yeah, Mike was the champion at 8-6. Bob was 6-8, and I was 5-9. So Bob and I both had our worst weeks ever. So
I prefer to focus on the fact that I wasn't the worst last week.
You weren't.
You weren't. Always half full, Bob. That glass
That's
is
right.
half full with you.
It was an upset special week. I don't usually fare too well on the host, so hopefully we won't have any more of those, but we probably will. So we got 3 games on Thanksgiving. We'll start off with those. We got the 12:30 game. The Houston Texans at the Detroit Lions. The Texans with a win over the horrible Patriots last week. What a bad loss by the Pats, especially after beating the Ravens. But the Texans 3-7, the Lions 4-6. The Lions got totally shut out by the Carolina Panthers. They couldn't even score a point, which is just disgraceful. I'm going Houston in this. I think Houston is maybe making a turn for the better. They won't make the playoffs. They just have too many losses, and I don't think they can win out, but I think they'll win this game. I'm going Texans. Mike, who do you got?
Well, you know what? People are going to be shocked that I am going with Detroit. Texas did come alive against the Patriots and showed well on offense, but I think the Lions will do this one here. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, too.
Oh, by the way, the Lions have lost 3 straight games on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Like I said, the Lions is not changing my mind.
You can't. Once it's in, it's in.
It's in.
Bob, who do you got?
Yeah, well, I'm going with the Texans because after watching Thanksgiving football for years and years and years, the Lions really stink on Thanksgiving Day. No matter what they do, I could never figure out why they keep showing the Lions. They must have a long-term contract for Thanksgiving Day.
Bob, we talked about that before the show started. It's like I said the same thing. Why are the Lions always on Thanksgiving? And they're terrible. But this is COVID. I'm expecting things to be different.
Yeah, right? That's the only thing that hasn't changed. You still have to watch the Lions on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But that's been the tradition for a long time, and I'm sure there's a reason behind it. It was let's see, this excuse says somebody started a Thanksgiving Day game as a gimmick to get people to go to Lions football games and to continue a tradition begun by the city's previous NFL teams. So that's what happened. The Lions were awful. No one was going to the game. So some guy years ago started this tradition to get people to go to Lions games. And then the Cowboys said, hey, why don't we do this? Because Jerry Jones needs all the spotlight. So they jumped in on it. So there's your history.
There's your answer
for you.
And the Lions were a team that the Cowboys could beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Cowboys got a good win last week. Speaking of the Cowboys, they have the 4:30 game. The 3-7 Washington football team and the 3-7 Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys 8-1 all time versus Washington on Thanksgiving. I think they're going to improve to 9-1. The Red Rockets going to strike again. I'm going with the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm going with the Cowboys too. I think they're going to take first place in the division with this victory here.
All right, Bob, who do you got?
Yeah, I got the Cowboys too. The Cowboys in Washington has been whatever Washington's name used to be, Yeah, the Cowboys have always seemed to beat them. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Cowboys.
Good choice.
All right. And we have breaking news, or at least I'm just finding this out. The Ravens and Steelers, who were originally supposed to play Thanksgiving night, have been rescheduled to Sunday afternoon.
Wow.
So it looks like the Ravens and Steelers moving to Sunday afternoon. Reason is there was a couple COVID positive tests on the Ravens. It was two of their running backs.
So they're not going to have anyone fill the slot, so we'll just have 2 games then on Thanksgiving?
Unfortunately, I really like the night game. I'm very bummed out about this.
Well, maybe we'll add an extra game to the HCAM lineup.
Yeah. So no 8:20 game on Thanksgiving. I can't imagine they're going to make a change moving one of the Sunday games back at this point. So there'll just be no nighttime game. So you got your Lions and your Cowboys, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't think that giving the Ravens those extra days of rest are going to help them. I think the Steelers are still going to crush them.
All right, I'm putting you in for Pittsburgh. Mike, who do you got?
Yeah, I'll take the Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I got to take Pittsburgh too. I think Baltimore, they've lost 3 of their last 4. Something's happening with them. Maybe Lamar Jackson is losing the mojo. We'll have to see. But Pittsburgh 10-0. I think they go to 11-0. But obviously, anything could happen between those two.
As we saw last week.
Yep. The 6-4 Las Vegas Raiders and the 3-7 Atlanta Falcons. I was very bummed out. The Raiders lost to the Chiefs last week. I thought Carr played an excellent game. Problem was the Raiders defense was horrible. They just couldn't stop Mahomes. But I do think they'll get a win this week against Atlanta. I'm going with Vegas. Mike, who do you got?
Raiders still have the defense still has big time issues. Matt Ryan will get back on track and pull off an upset. I'm going with the Falcons, 3-4.
All right, Bob.
Well, I'm going with the Raiders because you don't need a defense when you're playing the Falcons.
So far, our picks are lining up that it's either going to be me and Bob having a miserable week and Mike having a good week again, or vice versa. So, the 3-7 Chargers and the 7-3 Buffalo Bills. The Chargers, they dominated the Jets last week, but it was the Jets. The Buffalo Bills will get the win this week over the Chargers, but I do love the Chargers quarterback. I think it was Justin Herbert. He's pretty good. I think this will be a game, but I think the Bills get the win here. Let's see, Bob, what do you got? We'll go out of order.
I'm picking the Bills. I think that they've got a pretty good season going, and I think they're going to keep it going this week.
And last, and well, maybe least, Mike.
Going against, you know me. It's like, it's a long road trip for the Chargers. They're coming off the bye week, and I think all year I've chosen everybody that was coming off the bye week to win. But I think Josh Allen will be getting the best of it. So I'm going Bills.
All right, Bills across the board. All right, here's the matchup of the week: the 3-7 New York Giants and the 2-7-1 Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow getting a awful leg injury last week. They will certainly miss him over in Cincinnati. And that's why I think the Giants are going to win, because I don't think Cincinnati's backup quarterback's very good, especially after the horrible performance against Washington after Burrows ended up leaving the game. So I think Giants get the win here. Mike, what do you got?
Well, now I fall back to my coming off the bye week. Definitely go with the Giants. Look for Daniel Jones to get it going against the best Cincinnati defense. So, Giants.
All right, Bob.
I'm going to pick the Bengals. I think that their new quarterback is going to help them this week. I don't think that's going to be a hindrance to them. And I don't think the Giants will be ready for it.
All right. Bob with the Bengals. If he gets that, he gets a bonus point. Let's see. This is a great game. 7-3 Titans against the 7-3 Colts. This is a matchup that could potentially determine the AFC South.
Yeah.
The Colts with a great win last week over the Packers, and the Titans with a great win over the Ravens. This is an exciting game here. It's at Lucas Oil Stadium. Rivers is playing really good. I'm going Titans. I think they're getting hot again. This is going to be a close one, though. Mike, what do you got?
Well, the Titans defense did play better against the Ravens, but I think I think they'll struggle. The Colts will win, and I'm going with Colts.
All right. I think this game could really go either way. Bob, what do you got?
Yeah, I got the Titans. I think the Titans, Tennessee has a good record against the Colts. I think they're going to beat them.
Yeah, they do. I think they beat them in their first meeting too. Let's see. 7-3 Browns against the 1-9 Jags. Should I just put us all down for Cleveland, or does anyone actually want to go with the Jags?
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. I dare you.
Oh, are you kidding me? Not on this one. Cleveland.
All right, Cleveland across the board. Another brownout. And we were all right with that. We had a brownout last week, and we were
We
right.
did. Yeah, last week we did. Yeah.
The 4-7 Carolina Panthers and the 4-6 Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings with a very questionable loss last week against Dallas, who came out of nowhere to beat them. The Panthers, they had a win over Detroit, a shutout win with PJ Walker, who's their third string quarterback. He was a star in that. It wasn't called the XFL. They started it this year, but it got shut down because of COVID.
Yeah, it was. What was it called?
Well, it was I don't know, it was something, but it was the football league taking place in the summer, started by the wrestling guy there. They were horrible.
Yeah, that's how good it was.
Oh, what's his name? It actually was pretty decent football. But anyways, PJ Walker came out of that league, started for the Panthers, had a good week. I think the Vikings get back on track. I'll go with Minnesota. Mike, what do you got?
Dalvin Cook's going to have a big day, so I'm going with Vikings.
I hope so for fantasy purposes. Bob, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm on the Viking boat. Yep.
All right. It's a Viking out. The 6-4 Arizona Cardinals at the 4-6 New England Patriots. I'm done picking the Patriots against anyone good. I'm done. I'm picking Arizona. Kyler Murray's going to crush them. Mike, what do you got?
Definitely, Kyler. Yeah, definitely. Kyler is going to get the better of Cam Newton. So, yes, Cardinals. I have to say, this is the most I have picked against New England this year that I had in the last 3 years. Okay.
Well, it's more than most people have picked against New England than anyone in the last 20 years, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, they're 4-6, so you should pick against them sometimes. Bob, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm Cardinals. I'm going with the Cardinals. I just don't see Cam Newton being a.
No.
All right, no. Now that we all pick Cardinals, New England's going to win.
They need it.
They certainly do. The 6-4 Miami Dolphins at the 0-10 Jets. The Dolphins had a very questionable loss last week. Who did they lose to? I forget, but it was questionable.
Denver.
Broncos.
Denver, that was it. Yes, and it was a pretty good game, close throughout, but it's the Jets. I don't think they're winning a game this season. I think Miami's winning. Mike, what do you got?
It's the Dolphins' second straight road game. I see upset special. I see the Jets.
Wow.
Bonus on that. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I did. I almost spit out my water.
Put that next to my pick. This will be the upset special.
Yes. All right. So here's the new rule. If you pick the Jets and you get that right, you get 2 points. All right.
I get 2.
Because you deserve a bonus if you could predict the Jets.
Oh, my goodness. I like it.
Bob, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm picking the Dolphins. I'm just baffled why Mike would pick the Jets, but.
Well, here's the thing, Bob. After our horrible performances last week and he beats us, he's getting cocky now. So he's going to start making he's going to start making all kinds of mistakes.
I got to mix it up a little bit.
Watch, this week he'll be like 0-12.
Yeah. Just like the Jets.
Yeah. The 8-2 New Orleans Saints against the 4-6 Broncos. The Broncos, they had some good luck last week. They won't have it again. The Saints, even with Taysom Hill, they look good. I think Saints are taking this. Mike, who do you got?
Saints defense has been outstanding the past 3 games. It's going to be really close. I'm going to go New Orleans. It's going to be close.
All right, it will be. Denver's not too bad. They're okay.
No, listen, I'm telling you, This is close. I'm talking 1-2 points close.
They're one of those teams that is made for an upset special. Bob, who do you got?
That's why I'm picking the Broncos. I think
Oh!
they're going to be the upset special this week. I think the Saints will be too cocky going, and Broncos, I think, are going to.
Like Mike was going into the picks, right?
Yeah.
The 4-6 49ers at the 7-3 Rams. The 49ers, they're a mess. Jimmy G's gone for the season. The Rams, they beat the Bucks. They look good. I'm picking Rams. Mike, what do you got?
Yeah, 49ers are banged up. Give me the Rams.
All right, Bob.
Yeah, I had hopes for the 49ers, but those have long since been dashed. It's got to be the Rams.
Yeah, you're not looking good for the 49ers. This is a great game at 4:25 on Sunday afternoon. Game of the week, 9-1 Kansas City Chiefs and the 7-4 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Brady just hasn't played good. He hasn't. I'm not starting first on this one. Bob, you can go first.
Thanks. I'll take the Chiefs. Or is that the Chefs? I don't know how I wrote it down, but the Chiefs. I think Kansas City's going to beat them. I don't think you're right. They've been up and down. The Bucs have been up and down. They have good games, bad games, but I don't think they're going to get skunked like they did. But I think the Chiefs are going to beat them.
Yeah, I mean, the Rams was a close game. That just ended up being a bad loss. But Brady, a horrible interception at the end when they had a chance for a game-tying drive. All they needed was a field goal. But some of the things Brady's doing lately are just nuts. Anyways, we're running out of time. Mike, what do you got?
Yeah, put some ketchup on it. I will take Mahomes and the Chiefs. And the Chiefs are going to win their second road game, so they're ready.
All right. It comes down to me. I'm going to risk it, and if Brady lets me down, I'm going to be really mad. I'm going Tampa. Upset special.
Won't you just give me the win right now?
Oh. All right. The 5-5 Mr. Jets. The 5-5 Bears and the 7-3 Packers. I'm going Packers. I don't think they'll lose 2 in a row. Mike, what do you got?
Well, sure, you're going with me next, huh? Well, I'm definitely, Packers, without a doubt.
All right, Bob?
Yeah, usually I pick the Bears, but not this week. I think the Packers.
All right. Monday Night Football. A battle of the birds. The 7-3 Seattle Seahawks. The 3-6-1 NFC East leading Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are a half game in front of the Redskins. The Redskins could make the play, or the football team. I'm sorry. The Washington football team could make the playoffs. They're only a half game out. That division's so bad. And the Giants are only a half game out. They have 3 wins too. So if Eagles lose this week, Skins lose, Giants could win this week. Giants could be in first place in the NFC East. Unbelievable. Anyways, I'm going Seahawks in this one. I think Russell Wilson is going to get back on track and take care of the Eagles. Bob, what do you got? We'll go with Bob second on this one.
Yeah, I'm going with the Seahawks. The Eagles just don't fly, so it isn't going to happen.
I like it. Mike?
Yeah, Russell Wilson will lead Seattle to a good road victory here. Definitely Seattle.
All right, there it is. The Week 12 picks are in. I'm worried about my Tampa Bay pick, but, Mahomes can't win them all, right? He's got to lose sometime. He's only lost to the Raiders this year. Hopefully he'll lose to the Bucks this week. Well, anyways, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. Very happy thanks. We hope that everybody out there has an excellent Thanksgiving. And remember, we'll have all kinds of great Hiller, Ashland Thanksgiving battles airing all day long on HCAM Ed. What time does that start again, Mike?
That's at 10 a.m. with the 2004 game.
All right, 10 a.m. and on Hiller's Ashland Thanksgiving Classic Football all day on HCAM Ed. Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. For Bob and Mike, I'm Tom Nappy. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching, everybody.